many thanks. And that's it. You can see more on all of today's stories on the BBC News channel, and the first look of the papers is coming up with Martin Proxel. But do stay with us here on BBC One. It's time for all the news where you are. Have a very good night.
Look east.
Hello, I'm Amanda Goodman. First tonight, what will Brexit mean for the region's farming industry? Well, last year, farms in the east received nearly £280 million from the EU. That's 40% of their income. Around 3/4 of the land here is used for agriculture, and 39,000 people work in the sector. Jenny Kirk reports.
Farming is one area which will be fundamentally affected by the UK leaving the EU. Most of the legislation governing how farmers use their land and what they get paid in subsidy has come from Brussels. Now on the wish list is access to labour, backing from banks and less red tape.
It's become very much a paper filling in exercise. We have to jump through all the hoops, which is fine, but there are a few rules that need looking at, and coming out of Europe, I think, is a great opportunity to do what we want to do and farm how we want to farm.
The National Farmers Union have held meetings with hundreds of farmers throughout the eastern region to hear what they want.
We were a split industry going into this referendum, with 2/3 of us wanting to remain and a very vocal third wanting to leave. But it's done, it's behind us. We recognise we move on. We now must see this about opportunity to build a stronger, more vibrant British agriculture. And I think there is a positive mood in our industry that this can be done.
Nationally, the subsidies are worth £3 billion a year. They help farmers to compete on price and also pay for care for the countryside.
I'm quite relaxed about the state of the countryside. I'm much less relaxed about how much food we will be importing by then if our farmers are required to compete unfairly against cheap imports produced to lower standards.
The big question now is whether the British taxpayer will step in and if farmers could cope otherwise. Jenny Kirk, BBC Look East.
A leading UKIP politician in the East has appealed to the leadership to stop fighting among themselves. Their leader, Diane James, stepped down after just 18 days, and 2 MEPs were involved in a fight. Well, today, Euro MP Patrick O'Flynn warned of damage to the party's prospects.
I think the UKIP grassroots have every reason to be cross at the moment, and I think people in senior positions, particularly senior elected positions in the party, need to be aware of their responsibilities.
Well, engineers will be working through the night to clear up the damage left by a fire at a shopping centre in Southend. The Royal was closed all afternoon after a fire broke out near TK Maxx. 7 fire engines were there. It hopes to reopen tomorrow. The train operator Abellio starts its new 9-year franchise for the Greater Anglia Network tomorrow. It promised to invest £1.5 billion in entirely new rolling stock by the end of 2020, plus station improvements and extra capacity. The name Abellio is being dropped, the new name, Greater Anglia.
We're going to be bringing in some extra trains next year, which will give us some more seats on peak time trains and more capacity. And we're also going to be continuing to refresh and upgrade the customer environment on board the existing fleet. But in the longer term, it's truly transformational, because from 2019-2020, we will replace every single carriage on our network. Every single train will be replaced with brand new trains.
A 4,000-year-old statue sold by Northampton Borough Council for nearly £16 million is thought to have ended up in America. Auctioneers refused to say where the Egyptian Sekhemka figure went. Now it's emerged the government granted an export licence to the USA earlier this year. The council made £8 million on the sale. Well, now time for the weather. Here's Elizabeth.
Hello, good evening. We started off the day on a rather wet note, some outbreaks of quite heavy rain at times this morning. That then closed to sunny spells and showers as we headed into the afternoon. There'll still be the chance of catching 1 or 2 isolated showers overnight tonight, but I think most places will be dry, and it will be a mild night to come as well. We'll start off the day tomorrow in double figures, certainly for many of the towns, but with some mist and some murky conditions around as well. Then we'll see things brighten up through the morning. We'll get some sunny spells come through. Still a chance of 1 or 2 showers at times, just blowing in on this freshening southwesterly wind, but I think for the most part we should stay dry, and certainly many places dry tomorrow, and it will feel quite pleasant still in the sunshine with temperatures up to 16 or maybe even 17 degrees. Some rain to start the day on Tuesday. Once that weather front clears, then it's going to feel cooler for the rest rest of the week. Lots of dry weather, a few showers at times.
Well, that's all from the Keys. We're back at 6:25 in BBC Breakfast with more news and weather, of course. But from all of us here in Norwich, a very good night to you.